SuperTalk Mississippi media production.
Second Amendment Outdoors in Corinth, America's largest online firearms and accessory mall, has the best deals for you to stay loaded and ready, as well as covered head to toe in all the best brands. Whatever the season, whatever your game, our focus is all in the name. SecondAmendmentOutdoors.com, where freedom meets the field.
What's up, everybody? Welcome in on this special edition of the Rebel Report podcast. As promised, my conversation with Ole Miss center Brycen Sanders. We went about 30 minutes, talked about his health. He's recovering from off-season surgery, the offensive line room, Trinidad Chambliss, navigating the distractions of last season, even how the Spanish national team is stationing at his high school for the World Cup. So a really fun conversation with him, and I hope you guys enjoyed. I know you will. He was really good. So that is this special edition of the podcast presented by Logan Smith Shelter Insurance, 601-823-3500. Auto, home, life, and business, 601-823-3500. He's got award-winning services. Even if you have insurance, give him a call and tell him that I sent you. You'll be impressed with what you hear from Logan Smith anywhere in Mississippi. Also, don't forget to subscribe wherever you get your podcast. Just search Rebel Report and subscribe and leave a rating and a review. Also, right here on YouTube, leave a like, comment, all that good stuff as well. So here it is right now, my conversation with Ole Miss offensive lineman Brycen Sanders. Joined now by Ole Miss offensive lineman Brycen Sanders. Thank you so much for your time, man. And I want to start with something that I just made reference to right before we hit record. How are you feeling? You had off-season surgery. It was shoulder surgery, right? And
yes, sir.
How are you feeling? How's recovery going for you?
I feel pretty good. Surgery wasn't too bad. It was just mainly a quick cleanup, rotator cuff mainly. Been about 3 weeks and a day since I had it. Feel pretty good, almost out of the sling completely. Rehab's going good. Should be good in about 4 to 5 months, I'd say.
When did the injury occur?
I think it was about week 4 of the season.
I mean, I played high school football, right? I didn't play college football like you. The toughness level of you guys, I don't think can be overstated. So you had an injury in week 4 that required surgery, and you did not get it until you played through the rest of the season and into the playoffs, NFL guys all over the field in front of you, and you just – how bad did it hurt when you played?
Thankfully, the doctors did a pretty good job of, getting me right before the game. But it didn't hurt too bad. But I wasn't going to miss this chance I had to, be able to play on this team no matter what happened. So I wasn't coming out no matter what.
So on that note, when did you know that this team in particular was different? When did you know that?
Honestly, probably the second game of the season against Kentucky when we had to come back from – it was a difficult situation, down by – we were down by 10 points after the first quarter, I think, at Kentucky, second game of the year. And, just out of nowhere we got hit with this adversity and, no one on the sideline flinched. We all knew we were going to come back and win. And I think from then on, we just kind of had that bond. And, that's what we kind of knew, that we can do this if we're all together no matter what.
And so you make this magical run. Is there ever a point up until the very end where you stop and kind of pinch yourself that, hey, we're making history here at this school, or was it just all business the whole time until it was over?
I tried to, soak it all in a little bit, but I just had to keep going just because the stakes were so high and, I wanted to win that national championship so badly. Sometimes I wish I would have soaked it in a little bit more because you never know if we were going to go back there. But no, it was definitely all business almost the whole time.
And there's a lot of conversation now. We actually did it on our radio show yesterday with the college football calendar and how you've got the end of the season and then there's weeks before the playoff begins, and then there's 2 weeks before the next game, and then 2 weeks before the next game. Is that something that you as a player wish would change? Is the long time off detrimental to the team's ability to perform? What would you guys prefer?
Yeah, I don't like the calendar at all. I think from the game of the Egg Bowl into the first game, it was like 25, 26 days or something, which is an insane amount of time. Like, we were on the practice field like when's the last time we played a game? It felt forever. Then when we stepped on the field, it was like, it doesn't even feel like we're playing a game just because it's been almost a month since we last played. So I definitely wish they'd change the calendar and make the games a little closer to each other because, I think I saw on Twitter that next year the quarterfinal game and the national championship is like a month apart, which is just insane.
Yeah, so November 14th, Brycen, next year is the halfway point between week 1 and the national championship game.
Yeah, it's insane. They're going to have to fix it. It's crazy.
So you return on the offensive line. You're 3 interior guys, starters anyway. All 3 of you are coming back. Continuity is something that we talk about a lot from the media side. How important is that actually to have the interior 3 on your offensive line all returning?
I think it's very important, especially for me at center, because having those 2 guys playing right next to me it helps a lot. Just because we already have a year of communication with each other. We know how each other plays, how each other communicates, and it's going to help big. And also for those guards that return to help the new tackles that are going to come in on right and left, to have both of those guys at guard to be able to help them, it's gonna be big time, especially for this offensive line and for the whole offense.
There is, you know it, you live it in college football, the opportunity to leverage the transfer portal, whether it be for more money or just to whatever the case may be. You chose not to go that route. There was no drama with you whatsoever. You didn't hit the portal, obviously. You didn't even leverage that at all. Why not? Why did you choose to have a drama-free, I'm staying at Ole Miss, and not leverage the portal?
Because, that's what I believe in. That's, I've always believed in that. If you go to a place, you should be loyal to that place no matter what. And that's the type of person I am. I'm not going to go against my beliefs and create all this drama for no reason just to get – I don't think it's worth it to do all that.
You mentioned the incoming tackles. As a veteran leader on the offensive line, what can you tell us about them? And then also, what is your role in acclimating them to the team and your culture in the offensive line room?
Yeah, Terez Davis is going to be a really good tackle. He was here last year. He played, I think, 3 or 4 games as a true freshman at Maryland. He's going to be a really good player for us. We also got Carius Kern coming in from LSU. He's going to be a really good player as well. I think for my job is just help these guys transition easily. For me as a center, I communicate. I tell them, what our combinations are, what the call is. So for me to just, simplify everything for them, not make it too complicated so they can just come in and play fast, I think is going to be the key for us.
What can you tell us about Trinidad Chambliss and the Trinidad Chambliss that you met initially back in the summer when he joined the team versus what he is now? What kind of person is he, and what difference do you see in him from when he joined the team versus now?
Yeah, he's grown a lot, I think, confidence-wise and as a vocal leader. When he came into the summer, everyone initially knew that Austin was going to be a starter, so Trinidad was kind of just, quiet. He knew he was going to be a backup until he got his chance. And then, once he started playing more and more and becoming the type of player he is, he became a more vocal leader, and he grew in confidence, and that, grew us as well. And he – toward the end of the season, he was being a team leader, speaking up at halftime, speaking up before the games. And, before the season, he would barely speak to anyone. So he's grown a lot, and it's awesome to see.
And obviously a special player. I asked you earlier when you knew the team was special. When did you know that he was capable of doing what he did, basically from day one as a starter, but especially in the postseason?
I think that Arkansas game really kind of opened up everyone's eyes, not only for us, but for, the whole world to see when we dropped 42 or 45 points, I think, against Arkansas, and, had that big win at home, and Trinidad went off. I think he had, 4 or 5 touchdowns. So, to see him go out and do that, we're like, dang, we got a really good player. And I think everyone realized that as well.
John David Baker, your new offensive coordinator, how similar, how different is the offense? So I'll start there, actually. I want to ask some personal questions, too, about him. But from the offense, how different is it? How similar is it to what you were running a year ago?
It'll be very similar. They all kind of come from the same background. JDB was here my freshman year as the co-offense coordinator with Weiss, so it'll be very similar. We'll obviously change some stuff up, but it'll be good to kind of keep that same identity of what we are.
And then what is he like? Just off the field, what's your relationship like with him?
Oh, he's awesome. I mean, he's just a player's coach. He comes in, jokes around. He'll just hang out with you. He'll be the type of guy you can go drink a beer with. So it's gonna be awesome to have him as a OC.
And you mentioned, so you have the experience with him at being at Ole Miss. But how valuable is it, though, from your perspective, especially as a veteran player, for a guy that's taking over such a successful offense that went out and did it on his own?
Yeah, I mean, I think it's going to have confidence in JDB as well, just because he went to ECU and he had a high caliber offense, and then he knows the type of players we're bringing back, so we can have confidence in calling the plays and knowing that we're going to execute for him, and we want to play for him. He's a great guy, so he's a great coach. It's going to be awesome to play for him.
Kewan Lacey and in your running back room, I mean, a lot of people say that a running back's only as good as his offensive line. As an offensive lineman, though, how nice is it to do what you do and have a running back that can reward you for good things as well?
Oh yeah, he's awesome. He even when we miss blocks, sometimes he'll make us look good. So definitely credit to him for making us look good. But he's a great person. He's a great running back. Even off the field, he's very quiet. Honestly, he doesn't talk too much. He just goes around, daps everyone up, and he's an awesome guy to hang with. And he's become a good friend of mine, and I'm awesome. I'm very excited that he's coming back for another year.
Yeah, he's all business, huh? I mean, all business on the field, with the exception of the touchdown celebrations. He did do something in the Sugar Bowl, though, that's a little bit risky. So I don't know if you're familiar with Marshall Henderson. Marshall Henderson in the SEC championship game did a gator chomp in the second half. Ole Miss was playing Florida, and Ole Miss was losing the game at the moment. But he makes a big shot, and they go to a timeout, and he's running down the court doing the gator chomp. And Ole Miss is currently losing. Now, they went on to win the game. Kewan Lacey in the Sugar Bowl scores, and you guys aren't winning yet, and he's doing the belt thing. That's a little bit risky when you think about it.
Yeah, I think him doing that just kind of shows the confidence we have. Not only that he definitely has a lot of confidence, but as a team that we knew we weren't going to flinch and that we were going to come back and win.
You guys, I mean, right in that moment, you knew you were winning that game, right? There's no way you were losing in that moment.
100%. I mean, we knew that we didn't start off the best, obviously, but we knew if we finished the game and the defense was going to clutch up, that it was going to be in our hands, and we weren't going to lose that game.
Pete Golding, your new and not so new head coach. I mean, he coached you obviously through the playoffs, but he's been your DC. What can you tell us about what Pete Golding has been since the season ended? I kind of want to go in reverse. So since the season has ended, what has it been like as Pete Golding as the Ole Miss head coach since the Fiesta Bowl?
I think it's been like a breath of fresh air in this facility, honestly. He's a great coach. He's a player's coach. He just brings a different kind of energy that we didn't have before. He knows everyone. He hangs out with everyone. He'll go up and talk to everyone, and it's just a guy you want to play for. He'll give a really good pregame speech. He'll get us fired up before the games, and we have team meetings that we'll have good talks about. And we started doing during the season. We had to come up here on Sundays. We started doing chapel on Sunday mornings, which is awesome to not only bring Jesus into everyone's lives, but just have a team camaraderie like that. So it's just been awesome to have him as coach.
And then navigating through the playoffs. So it was an unprecedented situation, as you know, and everybody listening to this knows as well. No team, no coach had to deal with what you guys were dealing with in the playoff. From the day you found out, hey, this is going to be Pete Golding during your run through the playoff, what was that like? And that experience from a player perspective with a new, air quotes, new head coach taking you through the playoff, and then your team performing well on top of it.
Yeah, I think, a lot of the guys on the team knew that we had the talent to win the championship no matter who was coach. I think that's just what everyone was focused on. We were just focused on going on the field and doing our job no matter who was the coach. And PG was, the perfect coach, and he led us in the right direction. He kept everyone focused during all the coaching changes, just all the, craziness that we had. But I think for the players, and I think it was more of a player-led team during the playoffs, and we kind of showed that.
And in your offensive line room, you mentioned some of the coaches leaving in the chaos, and we'll get to some of that here in a second. But John Garrison is a guy that stayed. What can you tell us about your position coach and that decision that he ultimately made on the offensive side of the ball not to go to LSU, but to stay with you guys right here at Ole Miss?
Yeah, I'm obviously very excited that he stayed. If he left, it would have sucked a lot because he's an awesome coach, not only on the field but off the field. He's an awesome dude to hang out with. I was in his office yesterday for 30 minutes just talking about random stuff. Even last week when no one was up here, I come in the facility, he was up here in his office, no internet connection, watching film off a hotspot. That just shows the type of coach he is. He's a grinder. He's up here every day trying to do everything he can to help us win. And he gets us in the right position, and he prepares us very well. So I'm very glad he's still here.
Yeah, sidebar here, the winter storm hits Oxford. You mentioned, no Wi-Fi to speak of. What have you guys as a team been able to do over these last couple of weeks? Obviously, you're okay, right? You're here talking to me, but what's that experience been like as a football team? Because there's 100 of you plus coaches and all that dealing with the winter storm and the power and all that stuff that has happened there in Oxford.
We haven't been up here the last 2 weeks just because of everything. I mean, a lot of players didn't have power, didn't have water at their place, so a lot of people went back home or got out of town and just went somewhere else to be safe. But we'll be starting back up Sunday. Thankfully, it's been a long 2 weeks.
When everything was happening with the coaching drama and the end of the season, you and a handful of your teammates were pretty vocal. Why did you choose to be vocal in that moment?
We just wanted to, set the record straight on what really happened, and because there's a lot of false narratives, a lot of false news out there, and we wanted to, not change that, but tell the facts and tell everyone our experience and what really happened.
Yeah, because there was frankly, there was one report in particular that I can think of that that we now know was just totally inaccurate when it comes to the players and what they wanted in your team. When you guys see stuff like that, jokers like me saying things that aren't true, most of the time you guys ignore it or don't address it. But in this case, you guys really chose to take a stance basically as a team and say, no, that this is how we feel about this. You don't see that, Brycen, very often. Players taking it upon themselves to set records straight, but you guys chose to do so. And I think in hindsight, it was the right decision as well.
Yeah, I think a lot of times, usually when there's false news or false narratives, we just ignore it because, we got bigger and better things to focus on. But I think in this situation, it was too big of a situation not to talk about and speak about, especially, for this fan base, for this university. I didn't want their name to be slandered and our name to be slandered.
There is every football coach I'm sure you've ever had in your life talks about limiting distractions, focus on the main thing and don't, protect the team, all that kind of stuff. From the outside looking in, with weeks left in the season, there were distractions around your football team being created by the top of the football team. And yet through all of that, you guys played well, obviously went to the playoff, won playoff games. How are you able to block out such at least outside distraction and lock in and still play great football?
Well, I wouldn't say the distractions were completely blocked. There definitely were some distractions. I was just hard not to look at, hard not to see. I think for some guys on the team, it was easy not to, get carried away with those distractions, especially the guys who were only here for a couple months and who were going to leave in a couple months. They were like, this is my last year, blah, blah, blah. But for a guy like me who's been here for 3 years and who really loves this university and this place, it was hard not to look at the distractions that, and the news stories that might hurt Ole Miss. So it was hard not to look at, but once we got on that field, it was game time, and I was going to do whatever it takes to win.
There are guys that obviously chose to stay, you being one of them, Will Eccles, Centarian Perkins. You can name a list. Ole Miss did a heck of a job in player retention. Why do you think that is? You look at other coaches that left, the guys that James Franklin took to Virginia Tech with him, or Matt Campbell who took to Penn State, or Galesh who took to Auburn. All these coaches took, dozens of players from one school to the next. Only 4 went from Ole Miss to LSU. Why do you think that is?
I think it just shows the type of coach PG is and, how many people want to play for him. And also shows the, type of job our front office technically did, from Walker Jones to Austin Thomas, the KB, just retaining players and, helping keep the team that we had last year, mainly together this year.
I'm curious about the dynamic that the portal does create, because you do have former teammates that are going to play for your opponent, multiple opponents next year. When you know that, when you see that, what is that relationship like between team and we'll do the Missouri guys first, Austin Simmons and Caden Lee. When you guys see them in Oxford next year, what's that going to be like with you guys that stayed, and when you get to play against a couple of guys that chose to go elsewhere?
I love those guys. I understood why they had to leave, and they didn't leave in horrible fashion per se. They left, very cleanly. Austin was my roommate every Friday night this whole year, so we had a good relationship. Caden Lee was my roommate the first 2 years we were here at school, so I have a good relationship with both of them, and I want to see those guys succeed a lot next year, unless they play us, obviously.
So one time a year, you want Austin to throw a dozen picks for 15 yards in the game, but elsewhere, I hear you. And then, of course, there was a couple of last-minute departures elsewhere, and you're going to play them as well. Week 3, is that a game where you guys are – you already have circled on the calendar, or are you going to have to fight against, treating that game differently?
I think we're going to have to fight against treating it differently. There's going to be a lot of emotions in the game, but we're just going to have to, play with our emotions in check and, use that for good and just, go out there and play the game, be relaxed, be calm, and just go out there and do what we do.
Do you have any indication yet what spring practice is going to look like? There's no spring portal window anymore. Is there going to be an opportunity for you guys to get together as a team in a way that you didn't get to last year or the year before because of how the calendar worked?
I'm not completely sure yet, just because we've been off the last 2 weeks because of the storm. So we're kind of behind the schedule a little bit, but I'm sure PG and the coaches up there will have a great plan for us.
So almost 30 guys coming in via transfer portal. What do you guys do anything? It's going to sound kind of corny, but special with the players, the incoming guys to help them acclimate to the team and the culture. What's that like when you bring in so many new players to your locker room and to your culture? What do you do to help them out?
Yeah, our coaches do a great job of, having different meetings of, getting to know everyone and just, sort of becoming a team, especially in the summer where we're kind of the only people up here in town. We do a good job of having different events, having different meetings just to get to know each other and go out and hang out with each other outside of the facility.
What do you, as an offensive line room, what is your favorite thing to do together that you can tell me about anyway?
I think last year a lot of us like golfing.
Who's the best player?
I think Diego Pounds is pretty good golfer.
Really? Diego Pounds the best golfer?
Yeah,
okay.
He was pretty good. Me and Patrick are about the same. We're kind of average. But I think this year we also just went and ate dinner together a lot with each other. We try to find a time during the week, just go out and have dinner with each other. Just get out of the football mindset for a little bit.
I'm still struck by the golf thing. Diego Pounds, doesn't give up a sack all season, but Diego Pounds being the best golfer, that's interesting. You guys play like 2K or anything together?
A lot of guys, yeah, they play 2K a lot. I don't really play 2K much. I'm more of a, like Battlefield Call of Duty guy, but
okay.
There's a lot of 2K players in here.
Man, I'm older than you by over a decade. The Call of Duty has changed so much for the worse. It was much better. I guess everything was better back in my day, right? But when you, on your own, are not focused on football, when you have no practice, no weights, nothing, you just kind of want to disconnect. What do you do?
Well, when I get that time, it's very rare. I'm just addicted to sports, honestly. I'll just watch whatever's on TV. I was watching Ole Miss play last night. And any Ole Miss sporting event I'm watching no matter what it is, honestly. I love college basketball for some reason. I just will go turn on TV and watch any college basketball game, watch a TV show, do some schoolwork, and, that's about it.
Baseball season coming up, and it's a little bit different here in Mississippi than most places on the college baseball front, for sure.
Oh yeah, 100%. It'll be fun. I always try to go to some games. I don't really like sitting in the outfield, so I'll go sit in the stands. But
really, you don't like the outfield?
It's just
You don't like getting drinks thrown on you?
It's just too crowded out there. I'm a pretty introverted guy, so I just like to go up in the stands and just sit and watch the game from back there.
Okay, so we know Diego was the best golfer. Do you guys cook together? Who is anybody like a chef connoisseur on the offensive line?
I'm decent at grilling, I'd say.
Okay.
Patrick's pretty good at grilling. Joe Corey, very good at grilling. But we got some good grillers on the team for sure.
Yeah, I feel like that would be like where the talent is on the team. Is like if you're going to have to eat with a position group, it's the offensive line, but especially like at the house, you guys would know more than anybody else. Tell me something about somebody in that room that's interesting. I mean, we know Daryl Gill, incoming wide receiver. He's like an aerospace engineer major or something crazy like that. Is there anything a cool angle like that, either about you or somebody in that offensive line room that would stand out?
Probably that Joe Corey's the funniest guy on the team, 100%. Yeah. He's a team comedian. He gets everyone in the right mood, even when we're down a little bit. Joe Corey, he's awesome to have. He's an awesome friend and an awesome teammate.
2026, big year, schedule, a little bit different. You have an extra conference game as well. Internally, what are your expectations for this team in 2026?
I mean, I honestly haven't really thought about it too much. I haven't really seen any of the new guys, compete in practice, but my expectation every year is to win a national championship. That's who I am as a person. I believe that, no matter what team I'm playing for, as long as I'm playing and we're going to have a chance to win, that's just the type of confidence I have in myself and, as the team I'm playing for. Obviously the schedule is going to be a little bit harder. That doesn't matter. We're going to go out there and compete no matter what. And I'm excited for these new challenges, and I think we can go win it all again.
Proof of concept is something interesting to me because Ole Miss fans, I mean, you've interacted with them. You know that Ole Miss fans have thought that they have had the opportunity as a program to become a national contender. It's just getting the right leadership and stuff like that. You guys had a ball in the air in the end zone away from playing for a national championship, and I feel like that has inspired a lot of confidence in your fan base that, hey, actually, all the stuff that the fans have been saying for years and years about what Ole Miss can be. Look, there's proof right there. And so every team says our goal is to win a championship. But from the outside perspective, you guys have shown that, yes, you actually can build a team and a roster that can get to that point right there at Ole Miss. And you've seen like an influx of confidence from the fan base because you guys showed that, hey, you can do it there.
100%. And I know Ole Miss fans have been longing for a successful season like this. I know, after all the sanctions, they had a rough couple of years. And even in the early, 2020s, like 2020, we had 5 or 6 wins, I think. So, I'm definitely glad for the fans I got to experience, this season, this year. And obviously want to do more for them and go win a national championship.
So you went to the Baylor School in Chattanooga. I actually have a few good friends that went there as well. Did you see that the Spain national team for the World Cup is going to be stationed at your high school?
Yeah, I actually saw that the other day. It's pretty cool.
I mean, of all things to happen at a high school, like the coolest thing that happened at my high school was you've probably never seen the movie, The Replacements. Have you ever seen that movie?
Yeah.
The receiver, Clifford Franklin, they put stickum on his hand. Yeah, that guy went to my high school. Like, that's the coolest thing that happened with me. But, I mean, the Spanish national team. Here's the thing, though, Brycen. You got to put something in the water. We don't want those guys to win.
Yeah, I know.
Something light, just give them a stomach bug for a week or so,
Yeah, no, I definitely hope U.S. national team wins. Whenever – U.S. is competing in a sport, especially with the Olympics coming up. I'm always watching, especially the hockey. U.S. men's national hockey team, to watch them is very fun to watch, especially when they played Canada last year. And I'm excited for the rematch this year.
What about curling? Will you engage in the curling?
I actually think I saw that curling starts today, so maybe if U.S. is playing on TV, I'll watch.
I have no idea how it works. I just like the guys sweeping and stuff. I don't know. I get into it.
Yeah, I got no idea either.
Man, congratulations on all the success that you guys have already had, but from listening to you now and just kind of knowing how, especially an offensive lineman brain works, you guys aren't satisfied at all, are you?
Oh no, definitely not. The end goal of every season is to be the last team standing, and we weren't this year. So we got more work to do.
Man, really appreciate your time. Get healthy, rest that shoulder, and looking forward to watching you this season. Thank you, man.
Yes, sir. Thank you.
Hope you guys enjoyed that conversation. I know I did. The podcast is brought to you in part by Priority One Bank. They make you their priority every single day. 16 locations in Mississippi. There's likely to be one near you, like there is one near me. They make you their priority every day with their online banking platform, local loan servicing, and decision-making. Switch to Priority One Bank and bank with me at Priority One Bank. Also, for all of your office technology needs, Advantage Business Systems, absms.com, has got you covered, again, for all of your Mississippi office technology needs. Thank you guys for tuning in. We'll be back Thursday night live, as you know, 9 o'clock, talking all things Ole Miss sports, whatever else comes up between now and then. Enjoy the rest of your day, and I'll see you live on Thursday.
A SuperTalk Mississippi media production.